folks, and welcome to another Saturday morning Samoflange. I'm Matt.
Usa, let's bring it down. I'm Benjamin.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey.
Happy Saturday morning.
Page 96.
Oh, my goodness. Here we go. We're getting
It's nice. We're into this.
Look, I'm ready.
This is where we had what were our two decisions, by the way?
If you decide to go with the tribe, turn to page 65. If you decide to go on the raft, like Tom Sawyer, turn to page 4. The Tom Sawyer was added by me.
Oh.
You know,
this is the cavemen. Going to the future, they forced us back into the past so they could play in the past.
Right. So we've been kicked around in every possible way, and every time we make a decision, we have like 1,800 pages of text to read. It's like War and Peace over here. How did they do that with a book that's only 115 pages long?
I know, and we've gone through several different paths here.
Maybe we'll finish it up.
Let's go with the tribe.
This Saturday.
This morning.
If you decide to go with the tribe, we're turning to page 65.
65. Saturday morning 65.
Saturday morning 65 has a new illustration for us with us carrying around, it looks like skinned bears, and there's people with sticks on their heads, and there's this lady like milling grain and some naked child running in the background. Very much a caveman vibe.
I bet none of those filthy...
Damn dirty apes.
None of them are vaccinated.
Not a single one of them. Guaranteed.
Guaranteed.
The tribe spends the next day preparing for the journey. You help pack gear, fur skins for extra warmth during the cold months ahead, flint for starting fires, a few bags of extra food. This is them teaching us how to survive now again, right?
I'm happy.
Like we're learning things.
We're learning.
Do you feel like you're educated?
Sure.
Nuts, dried fruits, and edible roots, spices and oils for making medicines, spears for bringing down game, and crude stone knives, tents for shelter. Litters for carrying meat will be made up along the way when more animal skins are available. Next morning, after a breakfast of river crabs and onion roots. This sounds awful. This band of Neanderthals begins the long trek. By noon, you reach the place where the swiftly running river is shallow enough to ford. Leading the way, the chief steps cautiously from rock to rock. The rest of the tribe follows single file to hide their numbers. That's not true. But that's what Tuscans do.
So Tuscans do.
You are last in line. Winding carefully across the rocks, you can concentrate on your balance. If you fall, the strong current could sweep you downstream so fast you'd never be able to get back. As you approach the trickiest section of the crossing, you notice that Vor has dropped back in line and is now just ahead of you. He could easily jab you and knock you into the river. Why else would he want to get so close to you? Maybe you should turn around and try to join the people who stayed at the camp. For me, Gomorrah. You continue on, picking your way cautiously from rock to rock. Vor drops back until he is only a few steps ahead of you. Then he waits. As you leap from the last rock onto the big stone where Vor is standing, he raises a thick stick and jabs it into your gut. You try to ward it off.
A stick?
A thick stick.
So he poked us with a stick.
That's apparently
okay.
It. You try to ward it off, but you lose your balance and topple into the rushing water. Well, for a moment, you can touch... Like, just how... anticlimactic is that? Okay, we're done. And let's see. For a moment, you can touch bottom with one foot, but the current sweeps you into deeper water. Your enemy is no longer Vor. It is the raging river. Fortunately, you remember not to panic. It's teaching us more stuff. Don't panic if you fall into a raging river.
So a few choices ago, when we could have gone down the river, they put us to the river anyway. Okay, right, keep going.
In the swirling, choppy water, your head is bound to be underwater part of the time. Using the breaststroke and the frog kick to get the power you need,
Frog
you are able to bob up to the surface. You move steadily towards the shore, and then a wave hits you just as you are inhaling. You cough and sputter for air. The current sweeps you into a sharp rock, smashing your right shoulder. Again, you are able to touch bottom. Again, the current sweeps you off your feet. At last, you make it to the far shore, and exhausted, you pull yourself onto a large rock and close your eyes. When you open them, the Neanderthals are all standing nearby. Turn to page 81.
Oh my God. 81. Okay.
The chief says. His tone is respectful. Vor is standing in the back of the group, eyes on the ground. It is obvious that everyone is impressed that you survived your ordeal.
Yeah.
Although the Neanderthals tend to be much stronger than modern humans, they are very poor swimmers, and none of them could have done what you just did. The chief puts an arms around you and says, Ug summa vurum, he says. As usual, you don't understand the exact words, but you do understand the meaning. The chief believes you have magical powers, and has chosen you to be the shaman, the wise person of the tribe, the worker of wonders. You need not fear Vor any longer, and you don't think that you will have much trouble living up to the chief's expectations. After all, you are planning to invent the wheel. The end.
That was pathetic. All right.
So, in some ways, it's a happy ending, right?
It's a happy ending, but it's,
because
we're stuck around caveman, and we're king of the caveman.
You're the king of the caveman.
You're going to invent the wheel. It's not going to impress many people. And did I mention?
What do you mean? It's going to change
these
world
cavemen
history.
Be nasty.
Look, my question was, all you did was survive falling in the river, and they basically built a religion around you. So, how many of our beliefs have been spawned?
Vor spoke, well, maybe. Vor poked us with a stick.
That's right.
That's not cool. I say the first thing we're going to do is eat Vor.
So it's like a Klingon ritual. You survive the pain sticks, then you get tossed into the river of death, and then you're made shaman of the Klingons. Yes. And like, what?
Wait, was this an episode of Star Trek?
It sounds like an episode.
Are we Patrick Stewart?
This is awful. That was terrible.
All right, so let's go
Remember
back to...
when we got stuck in the Middle Ages and invented things? And
that was great. That was great. We were a magician. We had our life. We were living with the king.
We were Merlin. And this is not...
What was our good ending from a few weeks ago?
We know.
No, we had a good ending in here.
It was earlier. It was an ish.
I can't remember. No, it was a good one. I liked it. Anyway, all right, so go back to page 65.
I, thus far, have been disappointed with all of the endings.
No, there was one ending we liked. I can't remember which one it was. But anyway, so we're going to go to 40.
If we decide to turn back, we turn to page 40.
Okay, so let's go to 40 now.
You turn abruptly. Make your way back to the shore. Vor yells
stick poking for me.
Yeah, you can just stick out of here.
Vor's still there?
He's still there. He's yelling at us now. Shut up. You don't understand what he's yelling, but it's not friendly. The others, still trying to pick their way across the river, don't look back. You wade out the water and head back into the trail, although you don't have any trouble finding the camp because it's right next to the river. You're anxious to get back before dark falls. You've grown tough and lean, living with the Neanderthals, and you hope you lope along like an animal. After a couple of hours, you recognize a spot you passed early in the morning. 2 fallen pines whose great trunks lie across each other, forming an enormous X. You sit on the mossy ground to rest, sure you can reach camp before dark. Remembering what Indiana Jones told you about the X. I just made that up. As your muscles relax, you let your... just some things, I can't not think it.
Yeah.
X marks the spot. As your muscles relax, you let your eyes roam over the thickly laced canopy above, marveling at the enormous variety of trees and vines. The sky is more intense blue than you've ever seen. The bark on the trees, the insects hovering, a squirrel perched on a limb, they're all so sharply defined in the crisp air that they seem surreal.
Oh, we shouldn't have eaten that shroom.
That's how we died one time, right?
I think so. We got poisoned by mushrooms.
Mushrooms. Your thoughts are broken by the scream of a jay.
Oh.
A jay. Danger! You whirl in time to see an enormous snake coiled to strike its copperhead a foot from your knees. You jump sideways and then sprint 50 yards, faster than you've ever run before. Continuing at a slower pace, you reflect on the price you pay for living in a beautiful, unspoiled world. To be constantly alert for danger, you must learn to live like an animal. Approaching the campsite, you call out, Azog lagert me! When did we learn
I don't know.
this? We
I don't-
suddenly know this
By
language.
running away, I guess.
I ran away and now I know a language.
I know a
Run
language,
away!
you
Run
got
away!
it. Now what?
No answer. That's what.
Is that it?
Says. No.
Oh, keep going.
Approaching the campsite, you call out, Hazoglog on me. No answer.
Oh.
The camp is empty, stripped. You run to the river. The raft is gone. The others have already set forth on their journey. You are alone. And as far as you know, there's no other tribe in the region. Cold weather is coming. You don't have the strength or the time to make a raft. Once the snow gets deep, you won't be able to cover much ground in search of a game. So they just straight up left us? They left
Why?
us. They left us.
Okay, keep going.
They're chasing the caribou across Icewind Dale. The fact is, there's little chance of surviving the winter. You sit on a rock, gazing at the river, trying to think straight. So here is a first in the history of Choose Your Own Adventures, I think, for us. Or maybe it's
right.
rare. We got a triple choice.
Oh, whoa.
The only time we had a triple choice was when we were talking about the boxes of future,
Yeah.
never, and past.
Yes.
So-
Whoa.
If you decide to walk south in hopes of reaching a warmer climate, this is on page 41.
Gotcha.
Reaching a warmer climate, turn to page 59. That sounds ridiculous. We're going to walk across a climate, just walk south until it gets warmer?
I don't get this either. I
it's
could have
like-
been shaman.
So we're in Canada. We're just going to walk to Texas.
Like,
Great.
Sounds like a plan. We're sitting on a rock.
If you decide to try to make it through the winter at the present camp, turn to page 27. That sounds like certain death.
Okay, I like it.
If you decide to try to get back to the Cave of Time, take your chances with the giant cave bear. Turn to page 49.
You have got to be shiting me. Okay,
so it's going to let us skip back. Have we been on page 49 before?
I don't know yet because we've been every effing where. But let's go to 59. Let's see this.
We want to
through.
walk to Texas?
We're going to walk because I'm going to check and see about page 49 in a minute while you're reading 59.
You spend a few days preparing for your journey. Mornings you gather nuts and edible roots. In the afternoons you sew animal hides, using a bone splinter for a needle and a pig gut for a thread. You tie together a triple layer of... How did we learn all of this? Aren't we 10?
I don't
How did we...
I don't know.
How does anyone know how to do this?
We were
Sewing
watching
together animal
MacGyver.
hides using a bone... That's it. Okay.
There you
You're
go.
right. MacGyver was on in the
Yeah,
80s.
so we knew.
Okay, this makes sense. You're right. Thank
Need
you.
some pine cones
Thank
and
you for
chewing gum and a
fixing that
paperclip.
continuity plot hole
You're
for
welcome.
me. I appreciate it. Oh, we just watched MacGyver.
Yeah, that's all we did.
Oh boy, they need to bring that show back. Teach us some skills. You'll need layers of protection from the cold and rain because you can't be sure of finding shelter each night. Finally, you are ready. The morning has dawned cold and clear. It snowed lightly the night before, but you are in excellent physical condition, and you are able to move at a good pace. Using the sun as your compass, you head south, cutting through the stretches of pine forest and rocky highlands. Shortly after midday, when you are already thinking of finding a place to camp, you hear the howling of a wolf, and then another, and another. You quicken your step, hoping to find a shelter of some sort, a niche in the rocks or a tree with branches low enough to climb, but you feel a deepening sense of despair. No natural shelter can save you for long. There is no chance of finding a house or a cabin or a road, because there are none now. 50,000 years in the past. Turn to page 73.
73.
On 73, we have an illustration and a gigantic The End. I'm just going to give it to you now, readers.
Let's do it.
The wolves sound much closer now. They must have your scent. You see one of them, and then another, circling. Within moments, they will rush and tear you to pieces. Suddenly, you hear a terrible roar. The wolves whirl and scamper into the woods. You turn and see that you have been saved from the wolves
Liam Neeson?
by a saber-toothed tiger.
That's not Liam Neeson from The Gray.
The end. It's a pretty good picture.
That is a great picture of a saber-toothed
Honestly,
tiger.
this is my
I'm
favorite
happy.
ending so far.
Yeah, at
because-
least we went out like a badass.
I mean, if there's a way to go, like, put that
May as
on
well
my
be a
tombstone.
saber-toothed tiger.
Eaten by a saber-toothed tiger. And this picture is really good. Like, you know what, if I were reading this, I would probably stop reading this book, like, as a kid
Yeah.
at recess or
That's a good
something.
picture.
I would put this down and just, like, try to draw it or something.
Yeah.
Like,
No, it's a really
this
good
is one of
picture.
those that you would, like, try to copy it.
It actually looks good. The
Yeah.
rest of them look kind of cartoony at
Right.
times.
This is actually good.
That looks like a real Saber-toothed tiger.
So
good on you.
Whomever illustrated this,
They really like to draw tigers. They hate drawing everything.
They hate everything. Right.
Women from the future are stretched out, but
Don Heaton got this job based on that tiger picture, probably.
yeah, that was just. You know what? He drew that and said, "Can you fit this in?
Can you fit this in there?
Yeah, I'll fit it in somewhere." That's why we have a ending.
We're gonna find an ending for this one. This is great,
so
Don.
Page 40.
Page 40, yes, which is 41.
We're gonna do number 27 now.
All right. So walking to Texas did not work. If you decide to try to make it through the winter at the present camp, turn to page 27.
Let's see how brilliant. I mean, we can design rafts and everything, so surely we can survive.
Now, after reading that ending,
we can speak their language.
Right.
Yeah.
We're like lean and mean.
Yeah.
And
the tribes left us. We fought off some orcs. We're doing fine. The fellowship is broken, but we're still going on.
Like Boromir don't need nobody.
Boromir, that's right.
Determined to make it through the winter, you consider the 3 basic needs: food, warmth, and protection from the predators.
Whoops. Protection from
To hear the lamentations of their women, to conquer my enemies, and gather them before me. Okay. I hate and love that movie so much. Okay.
Okay.
I need to learn that quote. You study the interior of the shelter with new interest. About 9 feet above the ground is a ledge which can be reached by a series of hand and footholds dipped into a wall. While the tribe was living there, the ledge was used as a sacred place. Well, we know what they worship now. And no one slept there. You never dared to climb it, but now your life may depend on the safety of it offers. So this is what I hate. I hate it when you make choices like this, and now suddenly there's a mystery ledge that you, the character, knew all about this entire time.
That's the thing.
But
they
the reader,
tell us about these choices after we do them.
Absurd.
Yeah.
You must especially be careful of everything you do. There is no one to take care of you if you get hurt. Once you reach the ledge, your spirits rise. It's about 20 feet long, and although not wide, it slants inward, so you are not likely to roll out while sleeping. Best of all, a spring trickles out of the wall near one edge of the ledge. You will be able to get fresh water without even coming down to the ground. Turn to page 35.
Okay, this sounds nice.
So we have a new illustration from Don of us sleeping
Tom
on
Hanks
the
Castaway.
ledge.
Let's do it.
Yeah, straight up. Now you have hope, and you feel a surge of energy. A good many old animal skins were left by the others, and you use them to make the warm clothes and blankets. Why did they leave a good many warm animal skins if they were trekking across the winter?
Because they said, maybe he'll come back, let's leave him some stuff. The poor kid. He doesn't even speak our language. Oh, wait, did you hear that? No, it couldn't have been him. No one speaks our language. Keep paddling.
For crying out loud, this keeps getting better. You gather nuts and tubers. Tubers, it says.
Oh, I did gather my nuts.
And roots, vegetables, mend broken spears, and sharpen knives so you can hunt and track small game because you are MacGyver. Finally, you build a huge stash of brush and logs so you can make a fire on the coldest days.
Oh.
Why would I not make a fire every day to eat my food that I just talked about killing? That's my question.
Yeah.
I'm really like in a very pessimistic mood at
I
this
am
moment.
too, but this kid is just incredible.
Right. I'm a little jealous, maybe.
We don't need the tribe. It turns out we didn't need them.
Apparently, no.
Best thing I ever did was leave my tribe.
No, he didn't even need to put down his sandwich halfway through.
He did not.
Got a long way to go. Sheltered in your niche from the howling winds, you sleep a great deal. Sometimes you imagine you are a hibernating bear. Turn to page 48. Okay. On page 48. As the weeks wear on, you realize that you are losing weight. You feel increasingly tired, as if the winter is a powerful opponent that is gradually wearing you down. But at last, you notice the days are getting longer. The sun rises higher in the sky. One day at dusk, you hear voices. The tribe has returned from the east. Bearing litters heaped with frozen reindeer meat, joyously you run out to meet your old friends. Ugh, mugo, they keep saying. You know this means that they are amazed you survived the winter. Vor, you learn, was trampled to death in a hunt for mammoths.
Good, jackass.
You are shocked to hear this news, but not completely sorry. That night, the chief comes up to you, smiling. Ugh, magwawin, he says, one day you will be chief. The end.
What?
That's it.
So he left the tribe, then decided to stay there for the winter, and then all automatically said, hey, you know what? Let's make you chief.
That is exactly what happened.
Okay. So let me ask you this. Do we go back to the Cave of Time?
So we didn't die.
Do we go back and continue an earlier choice we had during the caveman?
Let's go back.
Where? To the Cave of
Since
Time
we're in
or
this
to the
caveman thing, let's finish this caveman thing off.
96.
Because this is starting to spin out to be more and more like the Box of Future.
We've been. Well, what's better, to be the shaman or to be the chief? Probably be the chief. You get to boss people around.
Shaman gets to boss everybody around too.
Yeah, but he reports to the chief.
I guess. Yeah. Chief gets the best parking spot. So
it's true. It's true.
What's the choice we didn't follow?
Well, we're creating the wheel, so we probably will get a little bit of...
Hey! Look, I made this car. You wouldn't even have this without
me. Well, I'm inventing the parking spot, too, and this is mine.
Chief says, well, I have all the gasoline, so... Where are we going?
How'd you get that? Killing them dinosaurs, you filthy caveman. I invented that too. I'm the one that killed the dinosaurs and used that fossil fuel. You jackass.
Boy.
All right. So anyway.
I love it.
Let's go to 96.
96.
And we're going to choose number 4.
96 has, if you decide to go on the raft, turn to page 4.
Yeah, so now we're going on the raft.
We're finishing up the caveman raft song.
Dope raft song.
Anybody know any raft songs?
No.
Yo, got some good drinking raft songs.
Fresh out of raft songs is what we are.
2 days later, the rest of the tribe leaves in pursuit of the reindeer. Only you, Azog, Larga, and me are left. Me is spelled M-I, by the way, just so you know.
Okay. It's not just, we're not referring to ourselves in third
person. For our friends and family at home, yeah. We're not crazy yet. But
not yet.
The 4 of you work hard gathering food and supplies so as to be fully equipped as possible for the trip. Fully as equipped as possible for the trip. Wow.
Yep.
All right.
Got it.
The next morning, you help the Neanderthals load supplies onto the raft. For the first time, you notice that there is nothing more than logs bound with vines. If you were to run into a stretch of rapids, the raft would almost certainly come apart. Whatever made Azog think this was a good idea? The problem is that the Neanderthals aren't very smart. The problem is that you weren't very smart to think that they could even build a decent raft. But it's too late to change your mind now. Azog pushes off, and as you start down the river, instead of paddles, you have long poles you use to steer the raft, thrusting end one against the river bottom, the water only being a few feet deep. Turn to page 10.
Oh, okay. Going on.
For several days, things go well. Each afternoon, you come across a grassy bank. Azog and Larga work patiently to catch trout in their crude nets. Me gathers fruit and nuts. You tighten the vines that hold the raft together. You've grown to like me a lot. You've grown to like me a lot.
I love me.
Mm-hmm. It's positive affirmations in this book.
Hello.
People living in modern times might say she's ugly, but when she smiles, she looks so happy that you've begun to think Neanderthals are more beautiful than modern people.
Oh, we're getting desperate.
What's happening here?
No, blue balls.
After your work is done, you and me play together. Man.
Don't do it.
She is stronger than you, but not as well coordinated. Although she can break branches you can hardly bend. You can climb trees while me only stands below and looks up enviously. Maybe that was why Neanderthals became extinct, you reflect. The day is warmer. Right.
Okay, yeah, that's why.
The day is warmer. The river is now deep and fast flowing. There is no need to pull. The 4 of you stretch out on the raft and listen to Larga tell stories about the tribe she came from. It's while listening to one of her tales that you first hear the rushing noise up ahead. At first you think it's the wind, then you think it's rapids. Then you realize it's a waterfall. It's a beautiful waterfall.
And now we're...
Get in here and we have the money to save the Goondocks. To page 99.
Well, at least we don't have a saber-toothed tiger on us.
Mm-hmm. Abraham Lincoln, Martin Sheen.
I'm telling you.
Let's see. To the others you shout, Vigwamp! We must get to the shore. Desperately you start paddling with your pole. The others sit motionless, staring at you. Why aren't they paddling? Stunned, you realize these people have never heard the sound of a waterfall. They have never even heard of a waterfall. The loud noise ahead doesn't mean any more to them than it would the roar of a jet plane. The raft is drifting faster. Now it would be too late to even if everyone paddled. All right, why do we assume that these people don't know what a waterfall is?
I don't know. Okay. I give up. They don't know how to climb either.
They don't know how to climb trees, and why would they not know what a waterfall is?
Okay. All
right, I mean, that's fine, sure.
All right.
We'll go with it. Just like they're going over the
waterfall.
Here. Yeah, we have a new illustration from Don, which is a pretty good illustration of people like straight up falling over the waterfall in a broken...
Spoilers, let's see.
Flats. Right, but there's no the end at the end of this page. So
okay, keep going then.
As the noise of the falls becomes a deafening roar, the Neanderthals understand. They do not yell or cry out, but in the last moments each of them hugs you as if to say goodbye. Oh my God. Suddenly the raft is hurtling over the falls. Yes. 100 feet below, there is nothing visible but mist and foam and spray. Yeah. As you fall, time seems to slow almost to a stop. And in that long fraction of time, you see the river winding downstream, looking strangely narrowed, as if most of the water were flowing into the ground. Turn to page 103.
Okay. It's bad when you're getting this high up in the chapter, in the pages.
Yeah. As you crash into the boiling waves of a raging torrent sweeps you down into the blackness beneath the surface. You prepare to die. But slowly the water thins, and you can actually breathe as you slide deeper and deeper underground. You feel Mee's arm as she slides by. You are so amazed to be alive that you forgot to be afraid. Then you feel a thrill of hope, because you have an overwhelming feeling that you have entered the cave of time.
No.
What? You're going to survive! Exclamation point. With luck, the Neanderthals will survive too. You hope that they will get by all right wherever they go. You laugh to yourself thinking, maybe the Neanderthals will be the people of the future. That is your last thought before you lose consciousness. Turn to page 44.
Oh my gosh. All right.
So we survived by pure luck.
We haven't made a choice since 4 pages ago. Okay, keep going.
Got one coming up.
Okay, good.
As you awaken, you feel that the world is moving back and forth under your feet. For a moment, you can see nothing because all is dark, but you hear noises, people groaning and murmuring. They sound as if they are in pain, but you cannot see them. No, groaning, murmuring, not coughing into the microphone.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
You take a couple of small steps, and you fall headlong into a number of bodies on the ground.
Leroy Jenkins.
Now you can tell where you are. Dark-skinned men and women are chained to the walls and floors of this dark, gloomy place. This is the slave ship sequence that we were so afraid of. Remember?
Wait, did we just go back in time again?
I think we did.
Oh, come on.
I think we're on a ship, or on a slave ship sequence.
Okay.
Dark-skinned men and women are chained to the walls and floor of this dark, gloomy place. As more light comes through the cracks in the roof, you guess that the sun has probably just come out and is shining on the deck of what must be a ship. You are on the water. That explains the rocking motion you have been feeling. You realize this is no ordinary ship. It is a slave ship, probably heading for the American colonies. You are saddened by the sight of the faces around you. They look so broken, so tired. You have read about the slave trade in Africa, the Caribbean islands, and the American colonies, but what you see now is beyond words. You see piled on one top of another like produce in a carton. People dehumanized, stripped of their pride and dignity. This is dark. I mean, this is a kid's book.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
They're stripped of their dignity.
I never read about a slave series
this dark?
No, shut up. But as in a kid's book.
Yeah.
Would you even... People don't even talk about slavery now. Anyway.
Well, let's see what happens.
Well, if you try to set people free, you have to turn to page 55. If you climb up on the deck to see if you can talk to the captain, turn to page 76. That second choice sounds like a bad move.
Oh, I bet free the slaves is a bad move.
Free the slaves is a bad move, too.
Let's do it.
Let's do both of them.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Because you know what? I hate this. Because we made a choice in the caveman days, and then they said, you know what? Screw it. I'm tired of writing about cavemen. I'm just going to force you into the cave of time.
Force you into the cave of time.
We have no choice about it.
Over a waterfall.
Yet, if we take the other option, eventually one of the three choices is to go back to the cave of time.
So, if
it
we
is the
had
dungeon
chosen...
master who is obviously forcing you in one direction.
Right.
And not giving
and
you a
has
choice.
no imagination.
You were mad that they took a different choice, so you looped them back around to the story that you had written
that's
out.
That's so true. There's bad DMs everywhere. Take note. Don't do this.
This is not... Yeah.
Let players feel like they are in control.
We got to be in control. We're not in control. What was it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages before we made another decision, and we're already in the past, so it doesn't matter.
You are angry.
Yes.
Angry for the poor people around you, and angry... Yeah, I'm still reading.
I'm hulking out.
Angry for those who assigned them this fate.
Yes.
You tried desperately to free them. The clanging chains are heard on the top deck. What are you people up to now? A man shouts into the dark crevices of the hold.
What do you mean?
Shut up and keep still, or you'll get no water tonight. Oh. Without thinking, you climb the ladder into the door above. Look, see, without thinking, you just decide to go up into the ladder above.
We didn't make that
choice.
Like,
it didn't make that choice. We were trying to... Okay. All right, I'm unhappy with this, Edward Packard.
Keep going. Keep going.
Okay. Let these people go free, you demand. Who are you?
MLK!
Furious, you grab the man by his arm. Let these people go! Can't you see they're hurting? Let them go!
So we went up on deck anyway.
We did.
When that was one of the choices.
That was one of the choices that we didn't select, which this book has a habit of doing for us.
Okay, keep going.
If you were, you know what, if that choice we had with the triple choice where it says, or go back to the cave of time, I bet that would have been death. Like, you can never find the cave and you die and you starve.
I'm seeking death right now. Keep going. We haven't died. Oh, yeah, we did.
Yeah. Saber-toothed,
we did.
Yeah. But in the next moment, the man grips your arm and presses a dagger against your throat. Oh, the blade cuts into your skin and you feel yourself growing faint.
Holy crap.
The next thing you know, you are lying in the top deck with at least 10 faces staring down at yours. Pulling you onto your feet, the man first encountered shakes you. I don't know where you came from or why you aren't chained like the rest, but you won't be living long. Oh. Do you think you can start a rebellion on this ship without being punished? Yells a red-faced man. Wow, the racism continues. Here, what we are with the...
He's angry.
Okay, my bad. Here's what we do with rebels. Says another, tugging at your clothes, we make them walk the plank. Turn to page 63.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah, dude. The sailors set up the plank, primed and ready for you. You can see the captain on the afterdeck. Obviously, he has decided to let the crew do with you what they will.
Oh.
You say no, and he says, I'm disinclined to acquiesce to your request. And that's from Pirates of the Caribbean, and I totally made that up. As the men push you onto the plank, you yell at them, these people on the lower deck, they don't deserve this. They are human, just like you. Please, let them... In the next second, one of the men rams you into the gut with a broom handle. Enough of you! Forced beyond the end of the plank, you tumble backward into the cold, gray sea. It's all over now, but you go knowing that you tried your best to do what you could for the captives. There was no way you could rewrite history. At least you were brave enough to demand justice. The end.
Are you friggin' serious?
I'm so serious.
So if we go up on deck next time... I mean, that's the choice, right?
That's what the choice we were given, and we tried to stay below deck, and we died because we got stuck above deck, and yeah.
You know what choice I choose?
Next Saturday
morning,
Samoflange.